Good evening, everyone. By virtue of the authority conferred upon me, I constitute this assembly, a congregation of the University of Cape Town.
Please remain standing for the singing of the national anthem. Chancellor, I have the honor to invite a member of the Student Representative Council to read the university dedication.
Good evening, everyone. I'd like to start off by saying you all look absolutely stunning today. My name is Kazimla Matungwane, the SRC Society's coordinator, and I'm a little bit nervous, but they say standing in a room full of greatness does that to you. At this time of celebration, we, the members of the University of Cape Town, reaffirm our mission to nurture rational and creative thought and free inquiry, to strive for excellence in teaching and research, to educate for life, and to address the challenges of our society. We undertake to advance these ideals in a spirit of freedom, responsibility, and through consultation and debate. We celebrate our founders, benefactors, and predecessors, those who have built the fabric and nourished the values of UCT. To those of you who will graduate, we wish courage, wisdom, and purpose. To those who will leave the university to learn and work elsewhere, may you be sustained by these values which unite us here today and advance them in the world beyond. A love of truth and of learning and of this, our university.
Let's clap for that. You may sit down. The presiding officer for this ceremony is our Chancellor, Dr. Precious Moloi Motsepe. Good evening, Molweni, on this beautiful evening in Cape Town. You know, as I said earlier, it could have been raining. Here we are, able to take beautiful pictures. I must apologize that we started a few minutes later than planned. We had an unforeseen circumstance, but we'll make up for all of that through the festivities, with your help, of course. Amongst those who are here to support our graduates are family members, Abo Makulu, Borakadi, Ditlokhulwane, loved ones, partners, sometimes children. Welcome to UCT. We also have someone who's graduating today who has made sure that we know that she wants a full student experience. We hope that in time you will spot her because she is one of our ministers. When the time comes, know that she too chose UCT for what it represents. Welcome to the Faculty of Commerce graduation ceremony. Tonight we celebrate the achievements of our honors, masters, and PhD graduates. This is a significant milestone. Postgraduate study asks more of you. It requires depth, focus, and the ability to work through uncertainty. It calls for independent thinking, strong discipline, and the confidence to test ideas and defend them. Each of you has met that challenge. For our honors graduates, the year has been about sharpening your analytical skills and deepening your understanding of your field. For our master's and PhD candidates, the journey has been longer and more demanding. You have contributed new knowledge through research that informs business practice, public policy, and economic thinking. Your work matters. Commerce shapes how economies grow, how organizations operate, and how opportunities are created and shared. The insights you have developed will influence decisions in boardrooms, institutions, and communities. Before we proceed, though, we will begin this evening with a performance by talented students of the South African College of Music. Please join me in welcoming them. We are going to be listening to soprano Dineo Bugala and pianist Malin Flock, who will be performing Tornami Avaghegia from Handel's opera Alcina. How was that? Hauntingly beautiful. Such is the talent we have from the South African College of Music here at the University of Cape Town. Starting from humble beginnings, the college in 1910 had 6 students. Only in 1923 was the college absorbed as part of the University of Cape Town. And since then, it has been a source of great talent, spanning many genres of music, from African and world music, classical, jazz, technology, and opera. Dineo is currently pursuing her second-year postgraduate diploma in opera performance, studying under Paulina Malefane. Marlene completed her postgraduate diploma in piano performance at UCT under Dr. Esthia Kruger in 2024. The procession was led by Marimba Jam, an award-winning social enterprise that both performs and teaches the African marimbas in Cape Town, Johannesburg, and recently Durban. The company originally sprang from an outreach initiative created in 2012 to share the joy of playing marimbas with learners from under-resourced schools. Now, Marimba Jam is a thriving company that performs a wide range of events while their non-profit organization branch reaches out to vulnerable communities. Please, let's give our performers, our artists, another round.
Halala! Halala! Anivuyi nabakwethini. Nina nizakhona ezinamandla okuhlalutya nokusombulula. Sijonge kunika umsebenzi okuthenga nithengisa abarhwebi bakowethu. Yolonto namhlanje sisitsho sisithi, "Untsukuni, we entrust you with a game of skill which every man cannot play, but few men can play it very well. For you are the product of their high-level education." I'm talking about the University of Cape Town. Hambani bahwebi nekuhweba. Sisho siziqhenye nangakumbi ngani. Go show the nations of how much common sense you have in this field of commerce. Hambani nithembeke kude kube ngunaphakade, for loyalty will take you a long way. Go be the right merchants of strong affinity for facts. Be completely firm in loyalty and dignity and integrity. Sibamba ngazo zosibini. Sithi congratulations to you heroes and heroines. Vuyani kaloku bazali, baxhasi bemfundo yabo. Nqonqani namhlanje ningenakhala, ngoba namhlanje kuyaphakwa. Halala! Dit is 'n groot dag vir ons. Feesgeluk almal. Your dedication, your support will never go unnoticed. We acknowledge you. Hi makwethi nazincuba buchopho. Nina nimabela bhonxileyo. Apho zonke ezintsana zincela khona. Sithi phambili ngemfundo phambili. Phambili ngemfundo phambili. Ndiyimbongi yosiba. Uma gabutu washo umuntu omlamba uthi busuthu umjobi. Uthiko loshinozinga ephume sithi ndinje ngumam diliyoko ma ndinje fuya hayibo diliyoko ma diliyoko diliyoko ma amadenga wetyala ndiwagawula ndiwarhuqa ndinyatsula ndisejeje halala.
Without song and dance, without ululation, it wouldn't be a celebration in Africa. And the beauty about ululation is that it's not constrained by language. So if you have a tongue, you can ululate. And Imbongi is a composer and an orator of poems of praise. Imbongi offer critical commentary and narrative on the state of society through their Izimbongo. The poem of praise, an Umbongo, was offered in honor of our graduates, their families, and their teachers. The praise poet for today's ceremony was Neliswa Sampi. Neliswa, also known as Nelly K, renowned as a vocalist, poet, dancer, drummer, a percussionist, talented in many different African traditional music instruments, and a composer who has great presence and finesse in the unique voice that she offers on stage. This dynamic songstress brings new meaning to Afropop, Afrojazz, gospel, and African traditional music. Thank you, Neliswa, for your gift of poem, gift of praise.
By virtue of the authority conferred upon me, I admit to the degrees specified and grant the diplomas and certificates specified to the candidates recorded as in absentia. I shall now grant the diplomas and certificates and admit to the degrees specified the candidates to be presented to me.
Chancellor, I have the honor to present to you for the degree of Bachelor of Commerce Honours, Musa Akapelwa. Mia Rose Altbecker. Palesa Mbali Arosi. In the first class, Adil Asbal. In the first class, Alex Dylan Becerra Hernandez. In the first class, Angela Claudia Beiser. Ria Bula. In the first class, Joshua Burkholtz. Leah Rosaline Brown. Adam Ryle Budge. In the first class, Annemie Berger. Luke Davies Carey. Ivan Carolus. Sachin Chagan. Jason Barry Chait. Tinotenda Philip Chaminuka. Kudzai Chegovo. Tadiwa Chipara. In the first class, Jacqueline Ndindi Chiwaya. Karabo Machwene Chokwe. Georgia Kate Colleen. Jessica Mamesika Kujono. In the first class, Liam Dawson. In the first class, in the first class, Luke Timothy Dawson. Sinotolo Daimani. Emile Darrell de Klerk. Nassar de Kok. Adam Michael Dusha. Miche de Villiers. In the first class, Kwande Kutle Dlomo. Sifa Gloria Juma. Fanny Safiso Dlamini. Owetu Lentle Dlamini. In the first class, Adam Yaron Drieband. Michael Mklini Dube. Aaron Lee Duffy. Catherine Dunn. Dasha Elizabeth DuToy. Focus, focus. Tweely. Siamtanda Dwili. In the first class, James Ryan Elliott. In the first class, Kaylin Quinn Falconer. In the first class, John-Luc Ferreira. In the first class, Morgan Ferryman. Zanele Fikizolo. Dylan Thomas Forbes. In the first class, Kirsten Alexandra Forbes. Rosemary Gandhi Zanwa. Natsai Maria Gagnani. Tasneem Geldenhuis. Quintus Geyser. Tami Tunne Giyose. Luis Luzolo Bernardino Gonzalez. Zhao Nangong. Lusanele Gokoza. In the first class, Charlton Brent Govender. Kaylin Govender. Lakshanya Govender. In the first class, Yeshin Govender. Mahir Shaman Govansasamy. In the first class, Alana Grant. In the first class, Ayrton Robert Griffin Ellis. Hanan Hanika. Alia Hassan. Thomas James Healy. Temkosi Marcus Hlachwayo. Alex Hlongwane. Zahir Hussain. James Kendall Husay. In the first class, Ryan Ross Howell. In the first class, Rodney Tangi Hamuniela. Shikar Hari Prasad. Ziyad Ibrahim. Tarsai Iman. Stefan David James. Marlo Johnson van Vieren. Adela Jardine. Shanaz Noleila Jaunu. Ulutando Luyolo Gili. In the first class, Talia Jira Chariankul. Kian Randall Jubei. Avish Jadnarayan. Nashe Jugdiswar. In the first class, Nuria Sheikh Kaji. Farzana Karim. Muaz Kasker. Tara Kai. Chepo Andrew Kuabane. Sarel Kirsten Sami. Focus. Tinotenda Kudzai Koshe Sai Kuwana. Oliver Paul Leenstra. Werner Leischer. Jinglin Liang. Siposetu Limane. Alexandra Clarice Liston. Alessia. In the first class, Alessia Loshale. Jesse McDonald. Richard Machivenyika. Ilham April. Khomotso Rahab Mahema. Kopano Morohesi Mafotla. Maged. Zinat Maged. Ndivuyo Maji. Mahmoud. Ibrahim Mahmoud. Kopano Daisy Makanatleng. Sipendile Makatini. Ordwa Theophilus Makwati. In the first class, Brian Malambo. In the first class, Malaika Joa Mamabolo. Muhammad Manak. Komolemo Mangena. Maziko Mangochi. Kolofelo Mosima Mantlwa. Ndabezinhle Mapumulo. Nchwareng Abram Marotodi. Cabello Clive Masola. Ashley Matandire. Sipumelele Matenjwa. Wanga Naho Matiba. Ntatile Zinhle Mavuso. Katleho Mbata. Ntombi Zeketelo Vuyokazi Mbumbe. Sinetemba Samkelesiwe Mchunu. In the first class, Elizabeth Jane Mell. Anelesiwe Mehlomakulu. Mango. Wayamika Taweni Muhango. Ngokolo Fortunate Mhlongo. In the first class, Keenan Temple Mills. Simile Notile Mkalipi. Masingita Mkawane. Amasle. Amahle Malibongwe Mkonza. Boipelo. Boipelo Edmund Modise. Gofahone Bonwell Moditswe. Kamohelo Katleho Mofokeng. Oratile Puti Mogodi. Adelia Nyakala Mokera. Colin Enoch Mokwena. Katleho Mokwena. In the first class, Ryan Moodley. Tiana Moodley. Taskeen Mukri. Pooja Mora. Nihad Muasafal. In the first class, Mahlohonolo Sivia Mputi. Lucanio Mpondo. Nhlakanipo Pritchard Msweli. Luandile Avela Mtakati. Tusani Given Mtembu. Humbulani Mudziwa. Mulalo Leonard Mulaudzi. Bwembia Andrew Mulenga. Mishumo Munze Helele. Kayaletu Maxwell Mtetwa. Jamie Cherie Murray. Salome Ropafadzo Mushakarara. Mikateko Kongani Mutimba. Busisa Mvoko. Damik Naiker. Suvan J. Naiker. Zenia Naiker. Daresh Naidu. Jesmeka. Jesmeka Naidu. Matthew Preston Naidu. Shriyan Naidu. In the first class, Tezriksha Naidu. Christine Namungeni. Uvesh Narain. Inya Natarajan. In the first class, Tato Rochelle Ndaba. Zukanye Ndinganiso. Siasanga Ndlondlo. Khotsemang Ndlovu. In the first class, Pearl Nobokosi Ndlozi. Zukisani Ndwendwe. Sipesihle Nzawi. Sipesihle Nzwahiba. In the first class, Thomas Sebastian Charles Newby. Tamsanqa Ngobo. Loyiso Ngwebo. Sipe. Sipesonke Ngumla. Michael Nduduzo Ngwenya. Tabasile Njomi. Asanda Nkambule. Vusisizwe Mvalani Nkambule. In the first class, Awongiwe Siolise Nkata. Snotando Snokolo Nchembeni. Wisdom Niagua. Cornelis. Gerhardus Cornelis Olivier. In the first class, Jessica Okomo Ongole. Orelowitz. In the first class, Saul Gabriel Arons Orelowitz. Gabriel. Gabriel Badiachi. Ashika Kumari Arunbai Patel. Nicole. Nicole Jade Paulser. Eletu Naledi Peter. Roberto David Peterson. Nolutando Pakati. Godrich. Pala. In the first class, Godrich Kumo Pala. Ash Pillay. Ria Pillay. Christopher Dennis Pittaway. Zintle Beauty Pobana. Eva Quinlan. In the first class, Sintle Ntabiseng Radebe. In the first class, Rushni Rademeyer. In the first class, Muhammad Imran Rabini. In the first class, Matthew Jonathan Ramsden. In the first class, Mulalo Rasivaga. Rito Adelaide Ricorzo. Denver Victor Roman. Nashita Safadin. Mikhail Sami. Mikhail Ray Sankar. Shakil Sayed. Thomas William Scarth. Matthew William Schramm. Moshe Sianeho. Treasure Kotlelo Sekete. Bontle Camogelo Setlachile. Matthew John Shahim. In the first class, Reese Montague Sheldon. Kevin Luandile Shoba. Jerome Sibande. In the first class, Tabo Simpiwe Sibeko. Monde Justice Sibai. Naomi. Nelmi Gongo Silva. Shirag. In the first class, Shirag Ray Singh. Orifa Precious Singo. Kanishk Raj Sinha. Tendani Sinyosi. Takujwanashe Joshua Sitole. In the first class, Jenna Rose Smith. In the first class, Alex Solomons. Keaton Kibido Solomons. Luvowetu Luvo Sombalo. Samani. Tamane Nande Sotashe. In the first class, Yusra Stellenboom. Jenna Stichelboot. Alida Marie Stoffberg. Nerissa Sherelle Sukram. Janae Sundai. Prosper Simbarashe Takundwa. George Christos Tatari. Tando Tembelihle Tabete. Chepo Ashley Tladi. Trickett. In the first class, Jacqueline Francis Trickett. Robin Trotsky. Dale van der Merwe. Jared van der Merwe. Shaal. In the first class, Sebastian Shaal van der Merwe. Alia van Graan. Bonita van Wyk. In the first class, Izaan van Zyl. Jordan Henne Vartarajulu. In the first class, Thomas von Zaan. Tlaisane Remember Vukeya. In the first class, Josephine Nicola Walton. Jason Craig Williams. Fillion Victoria Williams. Joshua Adam Willoughby. Isabella Farinia Zagato. Tembeka Prudence Zama. Ivanovna Zgersky. Mia Ivanovna Zgersky. I guess I'll get it.
For the degree of Master of Commerce, Jermaine Tabisile Chiwaye. With distinction, Janita Monique Ferreira. Robin Ashley Harris. Vukosi Leroy Khosa. Michael Tsepo Lehabe. Angelica Chanel Lorek Klotz. With distinction, Rodney Tapiwa Machakwara. Kevin Munene Mwiti. Samkelisiwe Ndlovu. With distinction, Chad Otto. Simpiwe Petros. With distinction, Nicholas Simmons. Raymond Chengetai Takuba. Kwena Tema. Kenneth Tapelo Tsiu. For the degree of Master of Commerce, Savannah Althoff Thompson. Teriwa McLeod Bakasa. Victoria Sibusisiwe N. Basopo. Nikita Chagan. With distinction in the dissertation and the degree with distinction, Joseph Gregory Clayton. Jesseria Pumlani Diong. Hlulane Elijah Liwayo. Carmen Lisa Doyle. Michaela N. Dunn. With distinction, Kirsten Maria Ellis. Iman Gur. Holly Kenda Johnson. Mahadi Kabo. With distinction in the dissertation, Thabo Lehlaka. Tracy Lee Liner. Takudzwa Wilson Machekanyanga. With distinction in the dissertation, Steve Masango. Ndaedzo Lavinia Mbubana. KB Miles. Fawaz Mohammed. Tshepo Norman Mulokwane. Papama Mtambeka. Turiho Abigail Mukama. Doreen Mkalisa. Vandaka Naidu. Lungelo Mthunzi Ngobese. Zara Parker. With distinction, Mohammed Sali Pastor. Peresi Simon Fia. Boipilo Rabutata. Yaju Ramadin. Lashangra Jayamand Reddy. Thandeka Felicia Sithole. Kalua Christine Siwale. Cyprian Malesala Tifo. Priyanka Rirasamy. For the degree of Master of Commerce in Development Finance, Khunze Dikeledi. Tato Sinabe. Kontle Tato. For the degree of Master of Development Policy and Practice, Yona Ayebare. Abigail Bunareri Batsweti. This is a special graduation ceremony, as we have the Minister of Basic Education graduating tonight. For the degree of Master of Development Policy and Practice, Siviwe Gwahube. Adelaide Patronella Mashele. Amantle Khurata Mutei. Comfort Pingilani. Tamara Margaret Silungwe. For the degree of Master of Industrial and Organizational Psychology, with distinction in the dissertation and the degree with distinction, Jan Pakusei. Michaela Dival. Kota Mokas. Mzokhulayo Phelo Nkabalaza. With distinction in the dissertation, Khomolimo Pilane. Matilda Tladi. Masibulele Jobeka. For the degree of Master of People Management, Wareleldin Adonis. Zarina Bacha. Nura Brandreth. Shamona Chinapa. Nurunisa Chotia. Maria Kandenge Hashela. Mpali Mabaso. Mahlubandile Joseph Mafata. Lerato Faith Makalene. Shana Lane Michaels. Crystal Janine Mukwena. Shelin Zwane. Nwabisa Samantha Kona. Tladi Donald Sitlaba. Kolega Shabalala. Lugre and Vals. For the degree of Master of Philosophy, Donnell Lord Chihoma. With distinction, Nabela Essa. Yimeri Klopas. Sibonga konke sandisiwe makhathini. Helda Geronimo Madlate. Jonas Stephanas Stapelberg. Vice Chancellor, I have the honor to present to you the candidates for the award of the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Today marks the culmination of years of dedication and the hard work. This occasion is not just a reflection of individual accomplishments, but a testament to collective pursuit of knowledge through conducting groundbreaking research, fostering of interdisciplinary collaboration, stimulating academic debates, and mentoring of the next generation of scholars. As you move forward, remember that your education does not end here. It merely transforms into new phases where you will continue to ask questions, seek answers, and make meaningful contribution in your respective fields and society at large. The thesis entitled Contextual Factors Influencing the Adoption of Social Media Marketing by SMEs in the Tourism Industry of Saudi Arabia, Nawal Nasir Omar Al-Hadin. For a thesis entitled Essays on Momentum in Frontier Equity Markets, Mark Muembo. For a thesis entitled Media Consumption and Media Signage by Low-Income Consumers in KwaZulu-Natal, Gauteng, and Western Cape Townships and rural areas of South Africa, Tumelo McDonald Shachaka. For a thesis entitled Decentralization in Zambia, 2011 to 2021, Reality or Rhetoric, the Underlying Drivers and Barriers, Alexander Chileshe. Front. For a thesis entitled The Psychological Tolls of Life Shocks, Evidence from Ethiopia, Richard Stratton Freud. For a thesis entitled Congruent Paradoxical Leadership Practices, the key to the recurring discretionary effort of African millennials, Peter Jacobus Jansen van Vuren. For a thesis entitled Reimagining the Tourist Customer Journey Post-COVID-19, a case study of 2 World Heritage Sites, Robben Island Museum and Table Mountain, Shonisani David Kangala. For a thesis entitled Examining Social Media Marketing Strategies, a qualitative case study of SMMEs in Cape Town, Nandipha Kondlo. For a thesis entitled, When Partnerships Falter in Plain Sight, Emotional Concealment and Invisible Actors in Cross-Sector Collaboration, Kailash Lala Sides. For a thesis entitled, Bank Provisions, Proclicality under an Expected Credit Loss Model, Discretionary Behavior and Corporate Governance Implication, Oren Munepen. For a thesis entitled, Intuitive Judgment, Nigerian Small Business Owners and Executives, Ndindi Onkwankwa Muweni. For a thesis entitled, The Impacts of Parental Socio-Economic Status, Pre-Primary Schooling and Productive Safety Nets on Young Children in Ethiopia, Esubawel Asmare Sahilela. For a thesis entitled, Building Purposeful Organizations from the Inside Out, a Feminist Exploration of Experiential Agency, Ella Skippers. For a thesis entitled, Understanding Some Social Implication of the Global Platform Economy, a critical social theory study of Uber and Airbnb in the context of South Africa, Keegan Steyn.
Graduates, what did I say just before the ceremony? That nerves have a way of getting us to see weird and wonderful things when people come to the platform. So for those who had slightly awkward moments, especially those who wanted to skip steps and join their professors on the platform, we've asked our archivists to curate moments from today to make it to UCT, just kidding. When we started off, we were calling you graduates. You now have shifted in status at UCT. You are now graduates. So if your name was Itumeleng Khadija Johnson, now you can say in introducing yourself, my name is Itumeleng Khadija Johnson and a UCT graduate. Such is the currency of the UCT name. Now, I know that many did ululate, others shouted. There may be others who held back a bit. We're giving you one more chance. So, loved ones, show our graduates exactly how you feel about this moment. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Now, you felt the love, didn't you, graduates? You've got to return that. So I'm going to invite you to stand up and to raise those scrolls and wave them while locking eye with your loved ones in the hall. While still standing, just shift your gaze to the platform. Your mentors, your teachers, your professors, again, eye contact, and then raise those scrolls. Thank you. I now invite to the podium our presiding officer. You can sit down now. Our presiding officer, our Chancellor, Dr. Precious Muloi Mutsepe, to the podium.
Good evening. We're almost at 8 o'clock, so I'm going to keep this very, very short. Graduates, families and friends, academic colleagues and distinguished guests, our Honorable Minister, Vice Chancellor, Deputy Vice Chancellor, and our lecturers. It is a privilege to preside over this ceremony as Chancellor of the University of Cape Town. Graduates, today marks a significant milestone, not only because you have completed your degrees, but because the level at which you have completed them is really high. Honors, masters, doctoral degrees. That's really inspiring. These qualifications signal depth, they signal discipline, and they signal a readiness to take on responsibility for ideas, for decisions, and for impact. You have not simply learned what to think. You have learned how to think critically, independently, and rigorously. And that matters deeply, especially in the world that you are about to step in. I'd like to share briefly at a personal level. I began my professional life as a medical doctor. I studied at a sister university whose name we will not mention tonight. And later, I specialized further in women's health at another neighboring university. Early in my career, I helped establish one of the first women's clinics in Johannesburg. Now, medicine trained me to make decisions with incomplete information, to act under pressure, and to understand that every decision carries a consequence, sometimes immediate and fatal, and at other times it would be delayed. And later, as my work expanded into business and philanthropy and governance, one of the profound and hardest transitions that I had to make was learning that leadership means choosing between imperfect solutions. There is rarely a perfect answer, only a reasonable one. Your advanced training prepares you to avoid, it prepares you not to avoid those moments, but to face them squarely and make some principled decisions. And these principles apply in medicine, in commerce, in government, in boardrooms, in markets, and in any institution. The most difficult decisions are rarely technical. They are judgment calls. They sit at the intersection of data, ethics, and people, with long-term consequences. And that is where your level of training truly matters. Because advanced studies does something subtle and yet powerful. It teaches you to sit in complexity, to hold two opposing thoughts at the same time and yet move forward. It teaches you to resist simple answers and to ask, what are the second and third order effects of the decision you're about to make? Who benefits? Who loses? And what does this mean in 5, 10, 20 years from now? Graduates, you are graduating into a world of volatility, economic uncertainty, technological acceleration, geopolitical tensions, and yet still profound inequalities in countries like ours. And in such a world, competence only is not enough. We need ethical leadership, sound judgment. We need people who understand that profit without purpose is meaningless and unsustainable. Your education has prepared you for that responsibility. Whether you move into finance, consulting, entrepreneurship, policy, academia, or government, you will shape systems that affect livelihoods. And I'm so proud to see you here, Minister, because when I first met you when you went into government, and you told me you are here to ensure that basic education prepares our children for the real world. I really applaud you, and we support your mission. We should never underestimate the influence that we have. We must never outsource our conscience. One of the most important lessons that you will learn, that most of us have learned, is that reputation matters. Reputation is built slowly and can be lost very quickly. Integrity is not proven in moments of comfort, but it is proven in moments of pressure, especially when no one is watching. So, I urge you to use your expertise with humility. Use your authority with care. And remember that leadership is not about control. It is about stewardship. I also want to acknowledge in our midst those that have supported you on this journey. Family, friends, moms, proud uncles and sisters. Thank you so much for supporting our graduates through this difficult journey. I also wish to thank your supervisors and lecturers who challenged your thinking and held you to the standards that we expect at UCT. Thank you for investing in our graduates. Graduates, you leave this university not only with your certificates, but with a responsibility to apply your knowledge in ways that strengthen our society. Carry forward the discipline you have learned here. Protect your intellectual honesty and be brave enough to lead with rigor and humanity. As you step into what comes next, you may build organizations that endure. May you design systems that are fair, and may you measure success not only by financial returns, but by the value you create for others. And on behalf of the University of Cape Town, I offer you my warmest congratulations. Go forward with clarity, with purpose, and with a commitment to making a meaningful contribution in the world of commerce and beyond. Thank you, Re a leboga, enkosi.
Thank you, Chancellor, for those words of encouragement, appreciation, and great counsel. We've come to the end of our ceremony, and in a few moments, our presiding officer, the Chancellor, will dissolve the congregation. So we will be asking you to stand, which you can do right away. And as the procession leaves the hall, we ask the graduates to join. And when we move out of the hall, we ask that you keep going. Walk until you see the spring on the left. This is incredibly important. It is important because you don't want to be the reason that some here will miss their appointments at restaurants where they're going to celebrate this beautiful moment. You also want to take the best possible picture you can have with the iconic Sarah Baartman in the background. So the further you go, the better the picture. Good night.
Thank you. And by virtue of the authority conferred upon me, I hereby dissolve this congregation of the University of Cape Town.